Hi Class 3, I'm going to read Chapter 13 of the Castle of Tangled Magic and it's called Koshka. The cat opens her eyes a slit. They're a fiery amber colour and her pupils are needle thin. I'm not Nana anymore, she snarls angrily, but it's so wonderful to hear another animal talk that I smile. Nana the witch was chained to this tree 500 years ago. She and her magic faded away soon afterwards. All that's left now is me, Koshka the cat, and in case you hadn't noticed, I'm still bound to this tree, so I'm in no position to help you, urgently or otherwise. Apologies, Koshka. Felix bows slightly, and his ears dip forward. But we can free you if you'll help us. Koshka's eyes remain narrow as she stares at us, and her tail flicks back and forth in irritation. You're Castle Mila's domovoi, aren't you? She glares at Felix. And you're with a human child. Koshka spits out the word human as if it tastes bad. So I cannot trust either of you. After being chained up by Ludmila, I understand you feeling like that. Felix looks at the heavy gold metal around Koshka's neck and his eyes well with sadness. But Olia is very different from her ancestor. Why was Ludmila so cruel to you? I crouch down so that I'm not towering over Koshka. To chain you up for all those years, I feel hot with shame that one of my ancestors could be so heartless. Humans are always most cruel when they're scared. Koshka stretches her long, slender body all the way to the tips of her claws and then rises to her paws. She paces back and forth, her chain glinting in the light. Ludmila feared me because I understand the magic of this land. I helped her create this place, but she worried that I might undo it all, because while I wanted a safe space for magical spirits, she only wanted a prison. So she chained me up and sealed the land shut. She betrayed me and all the spirits. She either tricked or forced into here. This is what humans do, lie and deceive. They are not to be trusted. My family and friends are honest and kind, I say, hoping that somehow I'll be able to convince Koshka to help us. So not all humans are like that. In my experience, they are. Koshka twitches her whiskers disdainfully. That's why I'm happy to be a cat now. I don't want to look like a human or live with them ever again. I turn to Felix, an idea sparking in my mind. Can we free Koshka, then let her decide if she wants to help us or not? But what if she chooses not to? Felix looks horrified at the thought. We need her. Only Koshka understands this land. Then I guess we'd have to figure it out for ourselves. I bite my lip nervously and glance back at Koshka. I hope she helps us, but we can't blackmail her into it, and we can't leave her chained to this tree. I look closely at the chain around her neck. There are no fastenings on it. How do we remove this thing? Use the hat. Koshka looks at the hat in my hands and lifts her chin in a gesture that makes me feel like she's challenging me to do it. Unfold the chain. Turn it back into the magic that made it. The hat warms my fingers. Somehow in my heart I know exactly what to do, and as long as I don't think too hard, it makes sense. I stow the key safely in my pocket and focus on the hat. I hold it open with one hand and place my other hand on the chain around the tree. Are you sure you want to free Koshka without her agreeing to help us? Felix's fur bristles anxiously. Absolutely, I say. Ludmila should never have done this, and as her descendant, I feel like it's my responsibility to undo it. I'd also like to show Koshka that not all humans are bad. Felix sighs but nods in agreement. I close my eyes and feel the magic trembling in the chain. I imagine it flowing along my fingers, up my arm, through my chest, down my other arm and out of my fingers into the hat. I open my eyes. The chain has faded so much it looks like a ghostly imprint, and I almost squeal with excitement. I'm using magic! I close my eyes again and imagine the chain disappearing completely. My fingers throb with warmth, and when I look this time, the chain is gone, and the hat's lining is glowing brighter. A huge, proud smile spreads across my face as I tuck the hat away into my pocket. Well done, Olia. Felix nudges my elbow. You have a talent for magic. Koshka stares at me. She moves her head all around, then stretches her neck and yawns. There is a gleam of gratitude in her eyes, but she doesn't say anything. Please, Koshka, Felix says softly. We really do need your help. What is it you want? Koshka licks her lips as her gaze shifts into the shimmering distance beyond the river. My home, Castle Mila, is being destroyed by a storm. My words rush out as I remember the fierce winds and the smashed dome. I wonder what state the castle is in now and what my family are doing, and my chest tightens because I have no way of finding out. A great deal more than your castle is being destroyed. Koshka's amber eyes flare. What do you mean? My mind flits back to Babusia telling me the storm could destroy even more than she could explain. For 500 years, the magic here has been building and tangling, forcing open cracks in the land. Small streams of magic have seeped out into your world before. You might have seen them as glowing winds, but over the last few days I felt much bigger rifts opening and magic flooding out. That will be causing the storm threatening your castle, but I'm more concerned about this land and the spirits who live here. I glance around at the calm sky, the gently swishing grass alive with tiny fluttering fish spirits, the rolling waves of the ocean and the soft burble of the river. But it all looks so peaceful, I whisper. Less than an hour ago, the ground shook so much that I thought the oak was going to fall on top of me. I follow Koshka's gaze to the tree roots, and a cold wave of fear splashes over me as I notice some of them are lifted from the ground above freshly rumpled earth. Soon this whole land will be completely torn apart, and everything and everyone in it will be lost. The magic will blast into your world and raze your castle too. Oh no! I feel dizzy, overwhelmed by the enormity of what is at stake. Not only Castle Mila, but this whole beautiful land filled with hundreds of spirits is in danger too. Felix rests a hand gently on my arm. We can change this, Olia. That's why we're here, remember? I slip my hand into my pocket to get strength from the fabric patch I made. I think of Rosa and how I want to be the kind of big sister who would protect her family and everyone in need. The patch makes me think of the blanket too, and how it shows that everything is linked. My family and our castle stretching back into the past, onward into the future and out into the village and fields around Mila. And now I know that it stretches into this incredible magic land too. What I do here will affect the future of more than my world, and somehow, like the stitches between patches, I have to hold it all together. What can we do? I rise to my feet. To save everything. You must cut off the beard of the wizard Chernomor. Koshka slinks away from the tree. Follow me and I will lead you to him. You can save this land and your castle, then leave me in peace. Cut off what? I look from Koshka to Felix, my thoughts more tangled than ever. I'll explain on the way, Koshka calls back impatiently. Shall we? Felix raises his furry eyebrows and his whiskers twitch questioningly. A flock of winged fish spirits flutter past and dive into the ocean. The six-legged newt-like spirit dashes after them, snapping at the bubbles they leave in their wake. And the huge jewelled fishtail crests and splashes in the distance, making a star-shaped rainbow in the domed sky. It's all so beautiful and astonishing, and absurd. I take a deep breath to fill myself with courage, then step forwards. Whatever it takes to protect my family and save our home and this land, we must try.